What is going on, Bulls Nation? So we dropped a game against the Orlando Magic, which we are trying to chase. So what went wrong? We're gonna talk about it right after this.
This is your home for all things Chicago Bulls. Join the conversation. You're listening to Chicago Bulls Nation.
All right, Bulls Nation. It was a competitive game. I guess that's gonna be the word for the year now. It used to be continuity, so now it's gonna be competitive. It was a competitive game. It went to the overtime. Um, it was a bad game for Kobe. Let's just put it this way. I think if Kobe had a better night, I think he went 5 for 21, 2 of 11 or 2 of 13 from the 3-point line. It was a horrible game for him, but luckily we have DeMar and Vooch who was playing, who was trying to make up for those lost points, and also Ayo. Ayo killed it this game. If not for his fifth foul, he got a fifth foul when just a silly reach in. I thought he was doing a great job against Franz Wagner, and he was killing us. But Ayo's length, his arm length, seems to bother Wagner. And whenever he's outside, I just feel like Ayo was the best one guarding him out of the bunch. I think it's because of his length. It was it was a good game. It was a head-scratching last shot by DeMar, taking a three-pointer. But then again, the argument was like Stacy was saying that, hey, he should have, drove to the hole, which I agree. This was a good crossover by Alex Caruso, by the way, which I agree, because you have the option of getting fouled as well. But that also, you saw the last, ditch effort by DeMar to dunk the ball, and it just rimmed out. So, it could have gone either way. I would have preferred that, but I would have preferred more of I guess like a real play at least, or if I said this on the chat, if you are dead set on putting DeMar on an ISO anyway, and I'm not even arguing, back in a few games ago, I was like, give the ball to Kobe. Well, Kobe was called all game, so I understand if DeMar takes the last shot. This game in particular, I have no problem with DeMar taking the last shot, because like I said, Kobe was horrible on this game. But if that is the case, if you're dead set on DeMar taking the last shot, at least, prep your team. Put Drummond out there, to get an offensive rebound instead of Caruso, because Alex can hit the 3-pointer, I for sure, but it feels like you're dead set on DeMar already. So just a thought here. I would also love to see Billy do some offense defense switch in critical moments of the game, because there are portions when I understand that the Drummond and Vooch, this is not sustainable, and I get that. But on some possessions, especially the critical parts of the last game, because on the last few minutes of overtime, or maybe in the beginning, Isaac is he's just manhandling DeMar, and DeMar is already he's not known defensively, but also he's undersized for power forward, especially for Isaac right there. And it showed like they had a 6-point lead right off the bat because of second chance points and the opportunities. He just couldn't box them out, like tipping the ball out, offensive rebounds and all that stuff. The disparity was evident on their length, and there's nothing we can do. We don't have a power forward. I get that, but you deal with the hands so that you do have on critical plays like that. I would have loved to see some change of personnel just for that moment. You get the rebound, if you want to call a timeout and all that stuff, you could, but you don't let yourself go down that much and then don't do anything about it. That's just, it is what it is. What he does have is what he does have. I think we'd have won this game if Kobe had a better game. The fact that we're still competitive is a plus. DeMar kept us in the game. Love him or hate him, he was the reason we're here, at least on this game. And also Vooch. Vooch had a pretty good game as well. He was cooking inside, and then he disappeared. That's typically what you get from Vooch and DeMar. That's who they are. They are fringe all-stars, and it things have to click on all cylinder for them to, for the Bulls to be successful. And it didn't. For the most part, honestly, it doesn't. And this is one of those things. This is not like the Minnesota game. Their length really did bother us. So that's why I was advocating for Marcus Morris, and it's just a band-aid, for now, for the season. So I'd rather have him. He's not the answer to this, but he's the only one that has some sort of a size. Unless you want to, Gallinari technically has more size, but can he still jump at this juncture? I don't know. But that's what I'm advocating. I honestly, even if P. Will is here, I don't know if it could have contained Isaac on the offensive rebound anyway. I doubt it. It's not like Pat Williams is a rebounding machine, but he's a bigger body out there. I don't know. Maybe. Like what I saw with Dalen, hit a 3-pointer. I also like Jillian Phillips, but it showed that his body's not NBA ready. He's getting pushed around way too easily. He needs to lift weights and work on his strength this offseason. But it was a competitive game. It's a good effort by the Bulls, and that's what you expect from a 9th seed. A mediocre team with a mediocre result, and you just hope that maybe they'll win the next game so Atlanta doesn't catch us for the 9th seed. I think we're gonna get into the play-in anyway. I mean, the next team is what, like Brooklyn? They're like 5 games behind us or 4 games behind us. And I think we're a better team than Brooklyn. So I think the play-in, I don't want to say locked, but either we go 9 or 10 and then we get bounced in the first round. We won't even get into the playoffs anyway. So I'm not even mad anymore. I was done being mad when they didn't make any moves. So, hopefully they just add a piece or two so it'll make me more exciting on my NBA 2K when I play them. But up until then, I'll see you on Monday when we face the Atlanta Hawks. We need to beat those guys so we can create some cushion between us and them. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're a Bulls fan, and I'll see you guys in the next video.